Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is Kingdom Builder by Donald Vaccarino and published by Queen Games. Many people consider this to be an underrated game, but you can't get much better rated than Spiel des Jahres 2012, right? Having said that, it absolutely is fantastic, worth your attention, do check it out. One thing I'll say before I get into how to play is I was really excited when I heard the title, the name Kingdom Builder. I thought it was evocative of this game of building kingdoms and just this great theme. Sort of like you might consider Taurus to be Castle Builder or something. And in practice, though, this game is an abstract territory control game, or territory scoring game. And the theme really doesn't come through at all for me, and is in some ways misleading. This is just a fantastic game where you are going to be laying territory settlements down on a hex grid, trying to score against on a varied board with varied special abilities and varied victory conditions. So it's got this great, every time you play is going to be different because of all the variations within it, and all of them work splendid together. But you're really just building lines and diagonals and things with your settlements. It doesn't carry any thematic punch at all. But great game, well worth your attention. So, tell me about the game a little. Well, there are 4 of these tiles out. I am showing 2, but you would have 2 more making a grid, and they all have a different special location associated with it, as well as a different layout. All of them have victory conditions on the back. Maybe you could have had a couple of them with more terrain, but I will leave that to Queen Games to figure out. And you have the terrain, each with a special location. Each time you'll have 4 of those, and you have this nifty little reminder, and they all come with little tokens, and you can pick them up as players. I'll explain that in a second. And then you're going to have 3 of many sort of victory conditions, or not ways to score victory points. Things like points for building around mountains, points for building around water, points for building having the row with the most of your buildings in it. You get a point for every one in it along the horizontal. For having a representation in each row along the vertical. For largest settlement. All different conditions, and they're true for all players. So you have 3 different ways to score points every game, and in addition, there are these castles which don't have little location tiles on them, but they are a location, and you're going to get 3 points for each castle. So players are always looking at castles, and then they're all looking at the same 3 victory conditions. So, how do you play? Super easy. You're going to start with one of these terrain cards, and then on your turn you're going to draw a second, and you'll choose between the 2 and play 1. And they represent the terrain on the board. Except there isn't a water, and there isn't a mountain. Water you can get to with ships, which is a location tile. So I have these. I'm going to pick one. Say I'm going to pick forest, and I play one of my settlements onto a forest. That's it. Turn's over. Next player goes. The thing that makes this game work is the placement rule. And the placement rule is that you must place next to a settlement you have on that terrain type if you can. So while my first grass is really easy, I can place it anywhere, or forest. After that, if I wanted to say, place over here, and if you place next to one of these locations, you get one of the tiles. You can get 1 per, but so everyone has a shot at it, but you get 1 per. But then say I wanted to come out over here, I wouldn't be able to because I have an available spot to me here. So as you're playing, whether or not you have available spots suddenly becomes constrictive on your choices and makes them really interesting. Also makes it really interesting what other players do, and then a number of these action abilities that come along. So that is where the dynamic of this game comes from. The other really cool thing is, and it has this expansive and tightening feel as you play. It's really nicely done in this game. The other thing are these location tiles, and as I said, you get them for placing somebody next to it. Then once you have it on your turn, you can use every one you have every turn. And whenever I play, usually someone's like, really? All of them every turn? And the answer is yeah. All of them every turn. So they're highly valuable, and some of them allow you to place an extra tile, sometimes multiple, a settlement. So, I might have played my forest card, and then say and this is a previous round. So I play my forest card in this next round, I have to place there, and then I can use the farm here to this one allows you to place another settlement on a grassland. And I haven't anywhere on this board, so I could place it here. The other type, typically, are ones that let you move a settlement from one place to another. In this case, it lets me move a settlement on the board to terrain of the one I had just played that round. And these are valuable for scoring points towards those victory conditions to get near water or get near, move them around. But they also allow you to, say, clear locations. So an example here would be, I don't have it out, but there's a horse, a stable. And when you have the stable location, you can use, on once per turn, you can jump a settlement across the board over a spot, right? I can sort of start there and jump one. And so, say I was in this position and I wanted to play a forest to get the barn over here. I can't because I'm going to have to do it close. But if I have the stable, I can jump this away. It's no longer on forest, and now I can use forest to go here. And there are all sorts of neat combos around when you use a location in order to maximize placement. So, again, really well done. Feels different every time you play. A lot of people want to play it again and again. Plays very quickly, quick decisions. But it's super abstract. It's super abstract, and you're like building these lines across the board, and somebody's going straight across, and somebody's going diagonal, and you're circling around it. And like, if you're not into like just that sort of abstract strategery, like if you're not playing that kind of game, it's hard to get into. But anyone who's semi-comfortable with this or very comfortable with this should love it. And it's a great introduction to that kind of game. So again, super fun. Love playing it. Can't tell you how many people, I put up a picture of having played it the other night again to refresh, and somebody's sort of like, oh, I love that game. I'm so underrated. So again, well rated and well rated for a reason. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. More importantly, play some great games. Thanks. Bye.